In this video, I'm going to do a few density problems for you, and we are going to always use our density formula. Remember that mass, or M, is going to be in grams for these problems, and V, or volume, is going to be in milliliters or cubic centimeters. And milliliters and cubic centimeters are the same, so you don't need to do any converting between those two things. So here we have a wooden block is 562 grams and 72 centimeters cubed. So I underline both of my givens. So when I say given, I just mean number with unit. And then I use the units to figure out what they are, what variable they are. So if I have grams here, I look at grams here, and I know that this grams must be M. So same thing, if I have centimeters cubed here and centimeters cubed here, then centimeters cubed must be V. One question that I got a lot in class is, does this centimeter, this power of 3 apply to the 72? It does not. So this 3, this power of 3 exponent, only applies to the unit, the cm, so it's part of cm. Okay, so it's cm to the third power. 72 is not to the third power here. Okay, so you do not have to raise 72 to the third power. That third power only applies to the unit. So then I take my formula and I just plug in the numbers that I have. So I take M is going to be 562 grams over V, which is 72 centimeters cubed. And then I do that. 562 divided by 72, and you get 7 7.8 grams per centimeters cubed. Now, in our class, we haven't yet done the rounding rules for chemistry, so if you wrote 7.81 or 8 or whatever you wrote, as long as it's around here, that's good enough for now. We'll get to those next. So now we have a bottle of water that is 560 milliliters and 1,250 grams, and we need the density. So we're going to use the same formula. And then for milliliters, if we have milliliters here, we look up at our units up here, we have milliliters, so this one must be V. And then we have grams here and grams here, so this one must be M. So then you just plug them in. Your M goes on top of the fraction. Your V goes on the bottom of the fraction. And you notice these are kind of like out of order. The M didn't come first. A lot of times it does, and then sometimes it doesn't. So you need to be careful about that. And then you get 2.2 grams per milliliter. I'm going to do one more for you. Now this type we did in honors chemistry, but we did not go over this type in CP. So if you are on CP Chem and you want to challenge yourself and you want to give it a shot, you're more than welcome to try it. If you are in CP and you feel like you've had enough of this, then there's no need for you to keep going. So for those of you who do want to see another problem done, this is our density formula, but if you notice this question is a little different. It says a block has a volume of 176 centimeters cubed and a density of 18.2 grams per centimeters cubed. What's the mass? So this time we're looking for the mass. So we're still going to use this formula, but we're going to manipulate it. So I want to solve for m. So in order to solve for m, that just means to get it alone by itself on one side of the equation, we're going to multiply by v on both sides. If we do that here, we cancel out, and then we have to do it over here to make sure it stays equal. So then we end up with this formula. And then go back to your problem. What's nice is that this is labeled for you, so you don't even need to use the units, but if you, because it says volume and density, but if you did, you could just go back to your formula and make sure your units are correct. But here they already did that for us, so we just plug things in. And we multiply. And you end up with that. And those are our density problems.